I've met a lot of people who roll around in the mud complaining that they're muddy, they're dirty, in as much as one fall or one failure or one pitfall, one thing they weren't expected, suddenly leads to another. And often it's our attitude that causes that. When things don't go to plan, we think, let's shelve them all together. And when simchas perhaps don't go to plan, we think, you know what, this is not worth anything. And one of the corollary impacts or effects of this virus, sadly, is that we have people who are celebrating simchas, plan to celebrate simchas, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, weddings, and sometimes those plans have been shelved. And therefore it takes tremendous courage to say, you know what, I'm not going to ditch the whole thing. I'm going to record my bat mitzvah speech on YouTube, not a traditional platform for a bat mitzvah girl to give a ceremony or a speech, admittedly, but still a tremendous show of courage, a tremendous show of I'm not going to give up, a tremendous show of resilience, and dare I say what it means to be a halachic and Jewish adult. It's commendable. And therefore we introduce for you on our YouTube channel Adina Relevy's bat mitzvah speech. Of course, we wish you mazel tov and look forward to celebrating in grand style in a few months' time, please God.
Please raise your hand if you have built some furniture from IKEA. Keep your hand up if you have managed to build it without getting confused, losing a piece, or losing your temper. Instead of a story, this week's Sedra goes into great detail of how the Jews built the travel pack temple known as the Mishkan. The only difference to IKEA is that IKEA instructions have no words, only pictures, whereas the Torah instructions have no pictures, only words. But why do we need all this detail? No one is planning on building one in their back garden, so what's the point? Well, here's the answer. Each item constructed has deep Kabbalistic significance containing spiritual messages in its design. However, seeing that this is my bat mitzvah speech and I'm only 12, I'll save that for a talk when I'm a little bit older. So instead, I decided to focus on a slightly different question. Why does the Torah in this Sedra almost repeat all the instructions said earlier? The last 3 Sedras before Vayakel also explain how to build the temple, and now, here we are again, reading what seems to be the same thing. Yet we know the Torah does not waste space with even one extra letter, let alone entire sections, so why the repetition? The answer might come from the name of the Sedra itself, Vayakel, and he, Moshe, congregated. Earlier, Moshe individually received the commandments from Hashem. That was the planning stage. Here, Moshe relays these commands to the Jewish community, but now is the actual building stage. So there is a good reason why we repeat the construction of the Mishkan, to teach the power of community. Some say the word team stands for together everyone achieves more. Instead of a random mix of different people's skills and achievements, you produce something so original and great that no individual could have done it. An easier way to explain this is by using a cake analogy. Let's say each person is a different ingredient or object in the recipe. When you put them all together, you won't get a mixture of flour and eggs and sugar, but a beautiful cake, unless you're like me, with no baking experience whatsoever. That is what teamwork is in the physical world. So too in the spiritual world. The quality of the mitzvah will be far better when performed by a group. This is why the Mishnah says in Pirkei Avot, a group gathering for the sake of heaven is so powerful that it is guaranteed to have lasting effects. Although we made a detailed mention of the significance of the Mishkan in earlier Torah portions, in this Sedra we focus on the fact that it was built by a whole community together. This 150-foot by 75-foot concerted effort brought us from individuals to a cohesive nation. The presence of Hashem then rested upon us as a nation. If you lift up your thumb and take a look at it, you will notice that you have a unique fingerprint design. 7.53 billion people in the world, and not a single one like yours. Why is that? Why did Hashem go through all the trouble of making a different design on every single human being? Of course, now our thumbprints can be used to unlock our phones, and in my school, getting in and out of buildings, but that hasn't come about until recently. There must be another message. Rabbi Volber explains that having a unique set of fingerprints is a message from Hashem. We are all individuals, we all have something to give to the whole. No one is extra. Everyone has unique talents that they must give to build the community. In the building of the Mishkan, everyone took part. Some brought their wealth, some brought their engineering ability, some brought their weaving and other forms of artistry, some brought their physical strength, and others brought their organizational skills. Whoever you were, you had something to give to the whole. Being Bat Mitzvah means I need to find out my unique skills and see how I can bring them to the table to help the community. As part of my Hesed project, I donated 13 inches of my hair to Zichron Menachem to help children with cancer, as well as all the money I raised with help from family and friends. I am now thinking about other ways I can contribute to my community. As Pablo Picasso famously said, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. I would like to end by giving thanks to Rivka Ziedman for helping me with this Devar Torah and making my lessons fun, interesting, and often tasty. My parents, sisters, and grandparents for always supporting me, and my other family and friends. I realized that for me to be here today, it was only possible due to a team effort. No one alone could have done it, and from the bottom of my heart, I thank you.